your own focus, and release from mind attachment. Ego-centered living is where you are allowed to embrace the incoming energies of the divine consciousness, and this is only for those souls willing to be open, that are prepared for this ascension in consciousness. We of the angelic realms, of the Galactic Federation of Light, often have questions to us, asking how can't everyone ascend this time around? Why doesn't everyone choose ascension this cycle around? It is each soul's choice, just as you decide to create some poetry, or write a book, and simply if you do not choose this for your life path, then you do not create it. That is as simple as we can be in this process, and many souls on this earth now still support war, still support violence, still support racism, still support division, still support lack, and for this reason, such souls need many more lifetimes of suffering, of many more lessons to see how they affected this universe. Are you able to sense by now that this means that only the few souls prepared for ascension will ascend, while the rest of souls here that choose to stick with duality will be given their opportunity to still exist in this state? It is then by trusting your inner guidance that you are able to then resonate with the truth that we as your family of light communicate to you, so that you can see that all of life has decisions, all of life has free will, in the paths each soul chooses for themselves. Collectively, your inner guidance is where you feel more of a balance inside of you, and no, the ego cannot have a balance, as the ego-centered consciousness is the very reason for wars, hate, and destruction in the world today. That is why those that still attach to ego-centered living cannot go on into the new earth, and experience the blissful realms that those souls willing to leave this sphere behind will experience. It is similar to someone who decides to murder and create violence in this world, is not treated the same as someone who is kind, generous, and respectful of all of life. Are you able to see this clearly now, that only those souls that are kind, generous, and are able to stop the mind attachments, based in judgments, and fear now are reaching ascension this time around? This is an important topic that we of the Galactic Federation of Light, of your angelic guardians, are here to show each of you that has long journeyed in duality, and are ready to exist beyond the state of fear. We give you a few examples now of what a soul that still exists in duality will do. They will insult you, tell you something rude, then act as if it is a joke, while those that exist in oneness will show you care, will show you grace, by existing free beyond all judgments. We are able to show this to you now, so you can see where each of you stand now in the ascension process, whether you are so tied to duality that you feel this is what there is only this limited way of being, and there cannot be oneness, or if you are existing beyond duality now, as an ascended being of light, meaning you are gentle, you are open, and always in connection. By the courage to leave the old ego attachment ways of being, then you are able to then manifest a gloriousness inside of yourself, where you no longer need to interact with souls that are of a lower vibration than you. Do you see that this is why many of your friendships, your relationships, are pairing you together with souls that are either in your current state of duality, or in oneness? This is how the ascension process works, as souls that choose oneness are gifted to connect with souls that are of the same oneness, by your will to be open to a harmonious and joyful experience of life. This is in no way to say that you, as a starseed, or light worker will not experience souls that are destructive, along the final process of ascension. It only means that how you spend the majority of your time, of the days left, in duality on this earth, will be spent according to each soul's level of consciousness. Advanced souls will be reaching to connect with other advanced souls now, and those souls that still choose division and separation will reach to connect with other souls that are divided and in a state of chaos. This is what we as your family of light mean, when we speak of old relationships, and friendships ending, to make room for those souls that are kind, that are not ego-based, but consciousness-based, and centered. Your sole responsibility now as a starseed, or light worker, is to make sure that you complete the mission you came here to do, and you only know within, by trusting your intuition, in this process. An ascended being of light is not a soul that needs to harm another soul, meaning physically hurt, or injure someone. Neither do such souls reach to criticize, judge, or try and make another soul feel inferior, or superior to you. Such souls we see many starseeds, and light workers now dealing with the process of releasing the lack, and feeling of division, as you then release the need to make another soul feel divided. This means that the more you are open to releasing such dense energies, then you are raising your own vibrations, into more unity among all, in which you connect to all souls, that are willing to connect in a similar way now. From your own inner strength, then the feeling of lack, meaning feeling you need to attach to another soul to have peace in your life is based in illusions, in fear of losing, or not having another, when in fact, your release from such veils, allows you to reach a state of completion within. Complete ascension is happening now, as we of the angelic realms, of the Galactic Federation of Light are here to unfold, in your own dedication, to be more inspired, from your own interactions in your life in this moment. You reach this state, the more creative you are, and this is a clear sign for those starseeds, and light workers, that you are ascending in consciousness, the more you are then able to create effortlessly, daily. We see that at this time, many starseeds, and light workers are feeling that December 21st, 2012 will free you from all fear, and to those we speak of, we ask you how you feel this is possible, when so many souls exist in fear, in hate in this moment now, on this planet. No, clearly, you can sense by now, that the fear can only be released inside, not on the outside, not in some date on the calendar, which you feel is a time for a full release of fear on this planet, when there is still much that needs to be removed from inside, to reach this state. This means that you, as an individual, have the ability to release the fear now, and you ask, where does it come from? How do you recreate this fear, over and over? When you state, I believe this, and another soul says, I believe that, I do not believe what you say, you are setting yourself up for division, for duality, and it is not in belief systems that you rise into unity consciousness. If this was the case, then the world would already be unified, with no wars, or chaos, from the old system of belief systems. One country feeling they are superior than another, and believes they deserve more than another, is the root for confusion, for chaos, for destruction, all by holding on to these attachments, all based in fear. When you practice inner stillness, you are releasing your hold onto such states of existing, and then choosing to vibrate at a higher vibration in consciousness, where fear is no longer your main focus. This is where you then unite into a circle of trust inside of yourself, where you trust yourself, and then can spread this trust into this world, in abundance now. We see many of you starseeds, and light workers at this time asking how you can trust someone that does not care about you, that does not have your graciousness in their focus. Trust is not accomplished outside of you, it is within you, where you release such ego-centered questions, that question your own trust, and allow for distrust to enter into your own energy field to begin with. Prime Creator trusts each of you, faithfully to complete the missions you came here to complete, and even for those that are just starting to see how important trust is in your mission, it is in your intuition, that this is mastered, and allowed to be still here now. We send you much clarity and peacefulness, by your choice to ascend. We are the angelic realms. We are the Galactic Federation of Light.